Hello, everyone. Welcome
Hello.
to week 4, I think 5 now, of UGL Gaming
week
League.
5.
So we're going to have a few more matches today. So I'm David. I'm with Jean-Benoit again.
Yeah.
A few interesting matches today. So as our little
very
expert
nice
on
to be
the
here.
different groups, how's it going so far? It's coming to an end, I'm understanding.
Well, there's more and more people that you could say are qualified for a round of 8, but there's still, uncertainty on some parts. So you'll see. Well, of course, like the results would be best described after those matches to make sure we don't spoil anything. But there's definitely going to be close games in the next week, especially like close qualifiers, especially in Group 2 and Group 4.
All right, that's going to be interesting. So without no further notice, I guess we're going to start very soon.
Yes,
so we're
because
going to
we have a
be
lot of
crafting
games.
3 games today.
Yep.
Of different matchups. So as usual, as soon as our little tech guy is ready, we're going to start a game, which is right now. So first game is going to be Ryder versus Liquid. So
From Group 1.
From Group 1. So in the bottom right corner, we have as the red Zerg, Ryder.
Yeah, Ryder versus... Why is this Ryder? Wait,
And then
and in the top left, it's gonna be Liquid.
the pink Protoss. So yeah, 2 players that's still fighting for a position inside the group. So we're gonna start right now this game. We can see like Protoss moving out with his probe, going to scout. Nothing fancy all so far. There's the Zerg still not expanding. He's making his little pool first. We can see. So welcome back.
Hey, and yeah, sorry about this. We had a bit of technical difficulties here, but I see an early pull from Zerg. Was that an 8 pull?
Yes, actually it was. As you can see, it's still a very, very early pull from Ryder, who intends to go very aggressive, as we can see.
Yeah.
Liquid defending so far. Well, making a wall so far. So it might
Liquid
be.
has scouted this. Like usually, this is a counter against Forge Expand. You want to go in, kill the Forge, and make some damage. But now that it's been scouted, it's gonna be very hard to be able to do damage to the player Liquid here. And what is Ryder gonna choose to do with his minerals? He's making a queen, and he's probably gonna go for his hatchery behind this because, well, you can't really go all the way with this. Well, not all in, but this very aggressive opening.
Especially once you've already been scouted.
Exactly.
That said, we can notice that Liquid is still not closed his walls, building pylons at different spots. So the Forge is still not blocking. I guess we're going to see cannons to try and wall everything. But we never know what's up. I mean, a few Zergling fast enough could sneak in. That said, we have Ryder going for hatchery and still no Zergling. So maybe not that aggressive after all.
Yep, and the hatchery should come soon here, coming from our Zerg player. Meanwhile, Liquid is still scouting and placing a proxy pylon. But tell me, is this in range of the vision of the tower?
I don't think it is. No, the tower is far, but it's not that far. There's still a space. Actually, the tower don't see. They see the ramps of the third base, or at least one of the possible third base locations, but they don't actually see above the ramps. So that pylon is safe, still hidden. We have Roach Warren going up for Ryder, so definitely not very fast all-in. Was more likely scared of an early attack and wanted to be able to build Zergling fast, which is not very common against Protoss, but can defend itself.
Yeah, but Ryder here still, kind of has the advantage on the mind game side because Liquid has not went to scout that. Ryder did not expand. Of course, when you scout an early pull like this and no links go into your base, you're expecting your opponent to maybe double expand and answer, to somehow like go for a very heavily on the macro. But that's not what Ryder is doing right now. He's going for a Roach Rush.
Well, I'm pretty sure Liquid is a little confused right now because, like, he made his defense, he put his zealots, made the cannon, he's building pylons all over his main to make sure he sees, like, some sneaky attack trying to sneak by from another direction. But like both players still going only one base and full macro so far.
Yeah.
Well, on one base.
Yeah, and it looks like Ryder has managed to make the right amount of overlords before the roaches start to be making. So we're gonna have 5 and maybe 6 roaches making here for a Zerg player.
That actually can hurt a lot, considering Protoss has only one gateway up and is building 1 zealots and only 1 cannon. If the roaches actually make their way to the enemy base, it's gonna be hard. And
like, are they gonna be scouted? It looks like their path is clear to the enemy base.
They have already researched Burrow too, so they cannot sneak in because of the cannons. But still, with the healing capabilities of the roaches, that could maybe help
and
a Zerg
as long
player.
as you get the cannon, like the healing would be good for Zerg. But looks like those roaches are slowly gonna creep their way up on this map.
So I'm sorry to interrupt you, but there's a dark shrine going up for Liquid. That's gonna be very interesting because there is no lair tech for Zerg, so no detection at all.
Yeah,
that
when you're
said,
doing one base.
the roaches could deal a lot of damage if they arrive before the DT are in.
And of course, they are going to arrive very early.
But
there we go.
The probe goes down, the pylon will go down instantly.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, can the cannon and the 2 Stalkers deal damage?
And what he should go is for the cannon right now, but he's
the
not,
hesitation of Zerg, that hurts. He's going to heal the roaches, which is a nice idea, but with the Mothership Core, now a few more Stalkers on the way.
Yeah.
Once the DTs are out, not much they can do. That said, that Mothership Core is where the roaches.
Yeah.
They left.
But right now, the clock is ticking. Time is going by, and 5 more roaches are on their way, but he has to make damage before the DTs are released on the map because he has no detection. The lair is making.
The lair is making, so the detection will be there in time for the DTs at the main, but they might not be able to help the roaches, and if DTs start slaughtering those roaches, it's over. That said, Ryder is expanding, which I believe is the right play. We have 2 DTs, no, it's not. Is it the DT moving on? Yes, we have 2 DTs actually moving inside the main.
Yeah.
And
meanwhile,
I was wrong, that the lair is not actually finished.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the roaches were probably set up there as a trap, expecting the Protoss to go down the ramp and cutting units of guard, but this won't happen. Like, there's going to be 5 roaches at the front, but like the only base of the Zerg player here is going to die very fast.
The DTs are trying to snipe the Queen, which is a good kill. Now going for a few probes. They cannot stop the lair from going. That burrow was actually very good. I mean, it's gonna delay production, but like now that the layer is finished, we see the Overseer coming right up, and those DTs will die. And since there's 2 more DTs, it's starting to be very all-in-ish for Protoss, and there's so many roaches at the main. If they kill the DTs at his base and then send all the roaches in with detection, this could hurt.
But meanwhile, Liquid seems to should have enough defense at his base against the roaches, but it looks like he's flowing 1k minerals. So he could be, he could actually suffer damage from those roaches if microed correctly. But the roaches are at the entrance of the Protoss. Like, what's the defense
killing
during
all
that
the
time?
DTs.
Yeah, the Zerglings are done cleaning up now. There's 1 more DT here in this area, but the defense from Protoss here, what does he see? He knows now that the roaches are there. He has 3 Stalkers, 1 Zealot, 1 Cannon.
Mothership Core is gonna try to make a little damage, but that will only warn the Zerg of what's up. Allowing the roaches to actually move away, knows there's a detection, therefore there is a robotic facility up. Like, he's sacrificing 1 roach. No, not even. Decides to move it away.
It's gonna take a very long time for a Mothership Core to be able to kill a roach.
That said, we have Zerg now in 2 bays, finally, and the DTs didn't pan out.
Yeah, and it looks like Ryder here playing tricky up his sleeve. He's not going for drones. He's making a Spire. What a crazy game.
And there's a lot of units there. I mean, what we see from Protoss, it's a 1 base, but there's like, what, 3, 4 Stalkers? The Immortal, however, could do a lot of damage. We see Liquid reacting properly now, seeing the huge army of his enemies and the fact that he can actually kill it. Except at his main, he needs units.
Yeah, so and maybe, like, is there an Overseer at the moment with the army? Maybe the DT. Oh, yeah, the Overseer has been brought to the army. The DT could do damage maybe in the main base of Ryder here.
He could, but technically, if I was Liquid, I would not send another DT there. You know your opponents have detection. You know your opponents have an army, and the DT is just going to fall, and so is going to the probe.
Leaving, causing a facepalm here from our tech guy. So yeah, it seems like the pylon is going to be cleared and the Protoss presence on the map is going to be, well, prevented for now. Although with that Immortal, the expansion of Liquid is going to be assured.
That said, the Zergling don't have speed, so they can't surround the Stalkers and kill the Immortal very easily. And there's a lot of Immortals, so might be the Mutalist that I'm expect to see from Ryder might not deal as much damage as they could. That said, depending on how it's their micro, they could slaughter all the probes, and this could actually be a game-changing event. We have the Protoss actually expanding too, so it's going to bring the game more evenly, especially since the Zerg base is not very, very well filled with workers.
And there we go. The choice has been made. It's going to be 9 Mutas for Ryder, so he's hoping to do a lot of damage. Maybe, you know, use a diversion at the front, attack at the front, and then damage the mineral line at the back. But we're going to see what he does with those Mutas. They have to keep secret right now.
And they have +1 on the way for the Mutas, but they will arrive way before +1 is finished, so unless he waits beside the base, which I don't expect he will.
No, he has to do damage at this moment, really.
And you are right. I mean, the Zerg army is a little bigger than the Protoss army.
Yeah.
And it could actually deal a lot of damage. If the Mutalisk, well, they seem to be wanting to go with the main army. But
usually you don't attack the front with Mutas, but this could work, actually. There's
a few cannons and a lot of Stalkers.
So we didn't see the macro from Protoss in the background, but now there's 3 Immortals, so that's enough to hold.
That said, 2 Immortals are not going to help against Mutalisks, and those Mutalisks are going to take
so the first
Stalkers down or retreat.
Again here from Ryder, so going in, going back, and this is going to...
But this is mirroring the army, and the front could be pulled with everything, but... The Mutalisk moving back and forth, not sure what to do, and just getting killed.
Mutalisk getting killed. So
Roaches and Lings killing the cannons, which is actually gonna allow the Mutalisks to harass and the army to just move in and out.
Yeah, but now that the army gets back, he's not gonna be able to kill this. There's 4 Immortals. It's gonna be a massacre.
Well, I guess with the detection and like the Mutas getting killed, this turned out to be very much at the advantage of the Protoss. I mean, the Mutalists didn't do the damage they needed to do. And now, well, 74 to 54 army supplies. I mean...
Yeah, this hesitation has cost Ryder a big army and may have cost him the game.
+1 for Mutalists about to finish, but there are no more Mutalists left on the map. Protoss moving out. I mean, I don't think Zerg has anything that can stop this army anymore. With all those Immortals, those Roaches won't stand much of a chance. And, well, Lings don't have speed, and, well, 8 Mutalisks won't be enough against this many Stalkers.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very hard to hold. He's trying to lay them for a trap, but there's an observer with the army here, so they're going to be detected and immediately completely decimated. And this, I believe, should be a game ending.
Yes, we can see the Queens falling, the Immortals, like, Mutalisk pops out, but with this many Stalkers, it's not enough.
Still enough Stalkers.
And like the expansion falls, which pretty much settles everything. We should see a GG very soon. The workers are dying, the Mutalisks are dying, the Immortals are killing everything that's left.
And it was well fought here from Ryder, but it looks like in the end, Liquid will manage to take the game. So yeah, there we go.
Yeah, this was a pretty good game for Liquid. Very nice defense. He thought there was going to be an all-in. It didn't come straight away, so he was a little confused, but he handled it nicely, made his defense at the right spots. I mean, the Mutas could have dealt a lot more damage if they had moved around and like surprised everyone. But there was a little hesitation on the side of not Liquid, sorry,
Ryder.
On the side of Ryder, and I believe that's what settled the game.
Yeah, indeed, and it looks like it's going to be... And so, since we can only cast 1 game from each matchup, this matchup ended 2-0 in the favor of Liquid here. So
Liquid still in the game for a place inside the top of Group 1.
Yeah, although we could have an update on that at the end of the cast here.
That is correct, because there are a few more games that needs to be casted.
Okay, so this here is going to be game 3 of a very close matchup in Group 4. So a very important match, because it's actually Rabbit here who's in the lead for taking 2nd place in the 4th in Group 4. And Dragos Alexandru here from Bucharest is going to try to stop him. It's the score at this point is 1-1. So we're watching game 3 of this matchup, and it's going to be a PvP.
So, as we can see, in the PvP, in the bottom left, we had Rabbit, the red Protoss.
From Montreal.
From Montreal. And in the blue Protoss, on the bottom right corner, we have Wiki. From, as you said, Bucharest.
Yep, and apparently, sadly, we don't have quite the time to show you, but the two first games were very close. Wiki managed to take game 1, but Rabbit came back and managed to apparently in a quite close game, win game 2. So
this is actually a very decisive match.
Yeah, definitely.
And I believe that group is also very, very tied, right?
Yeah. So what's on the line here? Well, Rabbit has to win if he wants to have a more secure claim on a second place here, and ideally he would have liked to win 2-0 because, as we remind you, the tie breaks are decided with the less matches lost in this tournament. So that means that if you win 2-1, it's less good than winning 2-0. But for Wiki here, it's his last chance to still be in the race, because if he loses, he's gonna have lost against 3 opponents and won't be able to get second place anymore.
So we saw Wiki actually scout the Protoss base. I don't believe he saw the gas, however. That said, he knows there's no proxy. He knows everything was was very classic. He might be assuming it. On the other side, Rabbit scout going into all the wrong places for starters, so he has still no clue as to what Wiki is doing, because since he saw the other spots, he knows where he is.
At least that his opponent is in the bottom right corner by elimination.
That is correct, but sadly, when you're in PvP, there's always a risk of a proxy or something, and that Rabbit doesn't know, so he has to account for it.
Yeah, and that might happen because we see a proxy pylon here. Is it going to be a proxy Stargate, you think?
Well, it's early to tell, because it could be Blink, could be Stargate, could be Zealots. I mean, the pylon's a little far for actually just warping in Zealots and attacking. So proxy Stargate seems like a good play. That said, sometimes putting the pylon too close is dangerous. Your opponents would just scout and kill it, and you want to avoid that. So I've seen a lot of players building it a little further just to make sure. I mean, it's not as quick an attack, but it's still there. That said, on the side of Rabbit, we do have the proxy Stargate.
Yeah, so Rabbit here is going to go for the proxy Stargate. So again, those two Platinum players here are trying to get an advantage against their opponent. And usually, like proxying a Stargate can be a good way to get a lead. You want to search for that moment of an attention. You get 4, 5, 6 probes. You get the advantage, and that shakers you to win. So this is what Rabbit is going here.
That said, we have probably Blink that's going to come up as soon as this Twilight consoles finish from Wiki.
Yeah.
So but Blink against proxy Stargate might be pretty strong.
I don't think it's going to be Blink, though, as we see the Dark Shrine, which seems to be thematic to all the games we cast here.
Today. That's not true. We've casted a lot of games with no Protoss in them. And we also casted a few games with Protoss that did not have DDs.
Have we? I would like to renote it, because I believe in almost all the games where Protoss was featured, a Dark Shrine was also featured. Oh, and it looks like this game happened during the anniversary of StarCraft 2, because the workers, when the workers die, they die with confetti. Thanks, Blizzard, by the way, for this nice animation.
I still prefer the time when they had this little happy birthday hat.
Yeah, the happy birthday hats were nice, but it actually happened.
Well, we have the Oracles moving in and starting to make a few kills.
2 kills. Where is the army here from Wiki?
5 kills. There is no army from Wiki. The workers are moving out. This is indeed incredible damage. I mean, we're at about 10 kills so far, and there's only 1 starter. The workers are moving back in, but...
So the Oracle here attacked a sentry, but did not finish it. So 1 sentry, 1 stalker is going to be enough. But how much damage was done? Many workers were lost. And
that said, there is no detection on the side of Protoss. On the side of Protoss. On the side of Rabbit.
On the side of Rabbit, indeed.
Except for the Oracles, but he doesn't know there's DT Shrine. He sent the Oracle in, saw nothing at all.
As soon as he sees that DTs are in, he has to bring back that Oracle. It's his only detection. There's no robo making for Rabbit here. So he has. Let's see if his reflexes are going to be enough. Otherwise, all his probes will die.
Those DTs could make as much damage as the Oracle actually did.
Oh yeah, and more if
even
the Oracle
more
doesn't come back in time. And there we go. It starts.
It's starting. So. Well, we can try to keep the count, but I think it's only 2 workers now.
Yeah, 2
the
workers
are moving out,
and
so
that's a good idea
because it is, but they're moving very far. I think it's like a counter-attack. Like this is going to turn into a strange base race.
Oh, but Rabbit here deciding that he doesn't want to bring back the defense, and he's just going to go for his opponent's base.
I don't think that's a good idea because like Wiki can actually ward DTs at his main, and there's not much.
Yeah, and
Rabbit's going to be able to do.
But R2DT is going to be able to kill the cannon in the mineral line here. If they manage to kill the cannon, then Wiki's going to have a huge advantage.
I mean, even if they don't, if this army kills everything...
Yeah, he has to go in, and there we go. So he's going to start. So he sends the probes. The probes are attacking, and Wiki knows he can't afford to be surrounded, but here the sentry almost getting caught. So there's 2 stalkers lagging behind, though. He can't really afford this. All the probes are dying in that choke point in the mineral line, and the stalkers, Rabbit stalkers, are not doing anything. I mean, this moment of inattention could cost him the game.
I'm pretty sure, however, that
oh my
Wiki should have built a few dark DTs to actually try and defend his main. It would have been sufficient because right now he's bringing back the DTs from his main. Building zealots might be. I think Wiki's lacking gas actually. He has 56 gas, and that's the reason why he's not building any DTs.
Yeah, and Rabbit here, seeing that Wiki was trying to leave his base, having the right decision of microing his stalkers in order to damage them, but he's not going to be able to kill enough pylons in time. And his army is getting attacked. He was targeting that pylon, but it's going to be immense loss. He's fighting the DTs right now. He's not using the detection.
No, there is not, and it's very risky because if that's the Oracle falls, there is no longer any detection. Like the workers, and there it goes, it falls. We have how many workers to how many workers? I mean,
oh my god, the supply is now 9-7 as this exciting game is going. But how are the DTs ever going to die in this game? Like, he's going to need a stalker. Does he still have a stalker? What are the units here on the map? This is crazy.
That said, Rabbit still has workers mining at home, so he has a little advantage. I mean, 3 workers is better than 1.
Yeah, that is true. So the two other workers here for Wiki are coming back. There's not a lot of minerals.
So it's a whole new game.
7 minerals.
I would send back the DDs, as we see, to try and kill as much building as it can, making sure that there is no more detection going up.
Yeah, and Rabbit here knows that there were 2 DTs in his opponent's base, so he should probably make a second cannon to ensure he doesn't die against his opponent's army, knowing that he has a small worker advantage.
I don't know if he knows he has the worker advantage, but it's true he does. Like this worker, this DT is
has
gonna
to kill that DT. He has to get it. He has to surround it with the probes. 1 probe will die. Okay, he can't afford to lose the probes one after one, but the like the DT is in range of that pylon here. That's not so much a big loss because that pylon is not powering anything.
The problem for Rabbit actually is that he cannot build anything except workers.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be that's gonna be helped when he has a few more resources here.
Yes, but if these DTs kill the cybernetic cores and the gateways and stuff, I mean, it takes a long time to rebuild that much tech.
Yeah, indeed. And we see there's still only 1 cannon here in the mineral line, so well, preferring to chrono boost probes than defend. So he's really thinking, I have to get back my macro and I have to place the cannon a bit later to make sure
and the cybernetic core
I have the lead.
So this is bad. I mean, like
but the stalker is making. And it looks like the probes are going to have no choice but to try to defend the pylon.
But then there's two
the last of those. But the stalker spawns, and there we go. But the pylon, the pylon here powering the gateway, but nothing is making, so the pylon is not important.
And the stalker falls. This is horrible. I mean, I believe Wiki now has 90.
He has to make a cannon. He has to make a cannon. He has the money. He has 350 minerals. He has to make
But he does not have a forge.
Oh.
That's why he's not making cannons.
Oh, I mean, well, that would explain
you have to look at the building. I mean, I'm letting you talk, but I think I should take the lead because, like, you don't look, he cannot make cannons, all right? But He is,
Yeah,
he is agreeing with you, however, because he's making a forge now. He's going to make cannons. I mean, but that said, as I was saying earlier, those DTs are destroying every gateways, meaning Rabbit will be able to make a cannon, but that'll be it. And Wiki can just keep making units and attacking the base.
Does Rabbit still have the Stargate with
yes,
the power?
Yes, he does.
With the power? Like
he does, but he doesn't have lots of gas because he cannot mine from the top gas because of the Stalker and DTs. And
yeah, definitely.
Even so, like, that said, there's one DT who almost fell.
Dies, but here we can see a very good harass from Wiki, not losing one DT to the cannon, taking out one pylon, like gateways, one pylon, one probe here and there, slowly bringing down his opponent, meanwhile rebuilding his base from scratch, because remember, he had only 5 workers.
But the fact that Rabbit cannot make any units, except maybe a little in the Stargates, but that will not handle any Stalkers coming from Wiki. Now we can see the Oracle building again, so he's going to try to retake the worker leads.
Yeah, and it also looks like the probes are going to try to
well, they don't have a choice because the
Stalker's
just slowly killing the Nexi.
Well,
I mean, we have a gateway backup. He's going to make a Zealot, but until there is
but the Oracle is going to try to go in the main. Now, is there a defense in the main of Wiki? Wiki's tournament line is at stake here, but looks like
there's so many Stalkers. I mean, I don't believe even the...
Yeah, but what, in the defense of Wiki, in the base of Wiki, what was there to defend? Oh, but
there was nothing. The Stalkers are here,
matter.
But that said, it would only have killed workers, and the Gateway would have fallen. The next side would have fallen for Rabbit. I mean, these cannons are trying to protect the next side, but they're too far behind.
Yes, he has no shot. Oh, but he is attacking, but he's giving the Oracle away.
Yeah, but he tried to win a little time to kill the Stalkers, but that won't help because all the workers are dying.
And there we go, the DT is helping the Stalkers, and there's almost no worker left. How is Rabbit ever going to come back? There's one less Oracle making. But Wiki is fighting for life here in this tournament, and he's going to... I think he's going to get his Nexus.
If the Nexus falls, I believe that'll be over because Rabbit doesn't even have money to make another one. And there it goes. So what can a Rabbit do from there?
Well, Nexus here is going to be started from Wiki. So feeling very confident. And maybe he could try to take those out. But okay, there we go. So now the Oracle is going in the main. It's probably going to kill most of the mineral line, but there's 2 Stalkers.
Even if he kills everything, as soon as this
one Stalker, those
Oracle dies,
kill the Oracle.
There's nothing much he can do. He cannot build any more units. He doesn't have the money to make a new next side. There's 2 bases for Wiki. I mean...
Yeah, but Rabbit knows that his lead on Group 4 is depending on this game here. So
he's trying to stay in, sending the workers to attack, but with the DTs and the Stalkers,
there's nothing that's going to happen. Well. Oh my god!
Even the Stalkers kiting a little bit, just
being ordered to attack.
And there's the GG.
To their death, and there is the GG indeed.
So a DT win, definitely a DT win. DTs didn't win all the games, even if we saw them in most Pradas games. I mean, but this was actually a nice counter because the Oracle actually dealt a lot of damage. I mean...
Yeah, but I would have been surprised what would happen if he had brought that at Oracle to defend the base instead of attacking his opponent's base with the probes at that time.
The problem with this is that the Oracle moved relatively slow. It moved fast, but I mean, the map is relatively huge, so he's going to arrive relatively late, and he would have lost a lot of mining times or probes if he had kept mining. So it was a hard spot.
I mean, if he would have protected the probes. But anyway, it looks like this game is done, and we're going to probably go into this, last game for today. So a very close game now, but Wiki is going to be able to keep his
Game 2. We're going to watch Game 2 from Joker versus Youngyun.
Yeah, so Junkyun here managing to get a win against Joker, and I would like to notice that Joker was undefeated in games until this point. So Joker was winning the group like 6-0 up until this very moment, but Junkyun, although the score says otherwise, Junkyun managed to take Game 1 here. We sadly don't have the time to display this game, but Junghyun here surprisingly defeating the favorite, and
So
he's putting a Joker on the line.
This could actually put a first last on Joker's first actual matchup last, not just game, because he already did, on Joker's portfolio for this tournament, which I believe was the only undefeated player before this game.
There were 3 undefeated players. There are now 2 in this tournament. Well, now 1. Actually, the only remaining is the champion from UGL Montreal Season 1, which is Conic, Jean-François Deschamps.
Deschamps.
So the only undefeated player now in this tournament in terms of games. So we see here the 2 players, Joker here playing random, falling on Terran, which I believe is his weakest race. So he's gonna be playing his very best. He's gonna have to keep very focused.
Especially since he lost the first game already.
Yeah. He's gonna have to be very focused to be able to win this game.
So, well, let's present like the players again. So in the top left, as we're saying, we have the red random player who falls on Terran, Joker from, where is he from?
From Bucharest.
From Bucharest. I think both players are from there, right?
Oh no, Junghyun actually hails from the Montpellier studio in France.
Ah, so in the bottom right then, the blue Protoss, Junghyun from Montpellier. Sorry.
Yep. And it's going to be a very interesting game between those 2 high platinum players, I believe.
So we have Junghyun scouting everything with a little spin around the base of the Terran.
Yeah. Like, we have many patterns usually selected by the Protoss players for the pattern of the probe. Looks like Junghyun here opts for the rectangle, which is a very peculiar choice here. A stylish signature already here from our French
as we all know, the
Korean
star is
player.
always a sign of a better player, but squares do fine.
I would assume Junghyun is Korean by his name, although I technically do not know. Therefore, I would do bad to assume this.
We have Joker who killed the probes easily with his first Marines. That said, we know then from Junghyun that there's not going to be a Reaper or something straight away in the base. I mean, Joker is making the Reaper behind it, but it's still not going to be as early. So there is no risk for Junghyun. He has time to make his Stalker.
Yeah, it's
no
not
risk
a standard timing here for the Reaper, as he's going to make the Reaper. Usually when you have the Reaper around that time, you're going to use it not to scout that gas timing, but to scout if there's an early expand from Protoss.
Yes. That said, from Protoss' point of view, he saw the Marines, so he has to fear an early Marine push. He has to make sure he's ready for that. That's not what we're seeing from Joker, however, but the fear on Protoss can force him to actually make a tech mistake. I mean, behind that, we can see Junghyun already going for the Twilight Console, so probably a Blink play, I'm assuming.
Or Dark Shrine.
Or another Dark Shrine. We are reloading the game.
It looks like something happened. Okay, we're back 10 seconds, but it's fine. So, so Junghyun, his choice of text looks like it's going to be the Twilight Council, either Blink or DTs. Maybe Blink, yeah, on one base.
I mean, we have to see a game with no DTs from Protoss, so I'm saying it's Blink. That said, we have the Reaper who's already in. Is there already a Stalker? No, there's no Stalker over, because even if he had time to make it, he went for the Twilight first.
Yeah, and that's...
So that Reaper is going to be...
And where's the Mothership core? Oh, but the Stalker was made.
Stalker.
Yeah.
He was just away from the scouting, and it does kill the Reaper, which is
that was
huge.
Very close. Yeah, so we see here Joker microwing back his Reaper and probably not looking at that very moment, being caught by the Stalker off guard and not managing to save it. So that's a critical
two
mistake.
Starports on the way, so I'm assuming probably a Mine Drops.
God,
or
what is
Cloak
this?
Banshee. But I'm assuming a Mine Drop.
No, I would assume Cloak Banshee. Do you know why? Because we already saw
from
Joker.
Stargate?
We already saw Joker play TVP in an earlier cast, and he did go against Protoss with that double Cloak Banshee build.
That's correct. We have seen it. I remember. That said, against Blink, how will Banshee do? That said, there is still no detection for Protoss. So if the Cloak comes first, it could hurt a lot. I mean, cloaked units are a pain, whether it's Banshees or DTs.
Yeah. But it looks like Junghyun here going for, well, what might be the correct decision in this case. So he scouted the bunker making on the ramp. He knows it's either something fancy being made in the back or an expansion. So he's placing the Nexus down to be able to get the advantage for the base.
We have both Blink and DTs.
Oh my god.
That's
what is this game gonna turn like?
Terran is only on one base. I mean, the second command center is just starting.
And it's gonna be key too, because he's gonna need this energy to deal against the DTs.
That is very important. That said, doing Blink and DTs is taking all the gas from Protoss, and therefore there is still no detection on the way. If Protoss doesn't defend for this, even that mine or the Banshees could deal a huge amount of problems.
Yeah, and there's only, I believe, one stalker on the map for Protoss here. Only opting for 2 gateways. I don't know if there's exactly one stalker.
We have the robotic facility on the way.
Yeah, but there's only a mothership core and 1 stalker. I'll go with the robotics facility on the way. Like with the mothership core, he could be able to defend against those Banshees.
Might not be on time. Because this Banshee's already out, Blink's almost done, and there is only 1 stalker, so there needs to be a few more coming. But without the detection ready, this Banshee could prevent income to support the army needed to actually stop the Banshee.
Yeah.
Blink just finished.
That's very true.
So it's going to be a little help.
So does Cloak, and so does the Dark Shrine. There we go. So we're going to have the Banshee moving in the main here from Joker. He's going to try to get his kills. He's trying to do damage against this opponent here. He hopes 1 kill, 2 kills, 3 kills with the Cloak
4
here.
kill now. We have the workers moving out, which is a good call, leaving a few behind to make sure the Banshee don't just
and
follow.
The Observer is going to be started, but it's not chrono boosted. So there's still going to be time for the Banshee to... Oh, there goes the chrono boost. But the Banshee is still going to do damage. Meanwhile, in the main of the Terran player, we see the DTs in the main of the Terran player, maybe? Of the DTs? Can we look in the
Observer finishes, but the Banshee's still moving and making a few more kills. So it's about
the Observer is
8 or 10, I believe, right now.
So does Cloak. He should remove the Banshee at this point. And looks like it... could we have a look in the main of the Terran player here? So we have no turret. We have a few scans saved up, but looks like no DTs were warped. All of the defense was focused, and he did not warp a DT. So that might cost a bit for Junkian here, because it was his time to be able to do a bit of damage. Oh.
However, it's very hard to handle the Cloak Banshee and manage DTs and not get them sniped by a scan at the same time. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Banshee moving back to the main mineral lines, which are going to make a few more kills on workers. Because
that's going to be great here for Joker.
And now there's a Raven. You don't need turrets when you have a Raven.
Oh, that's true. The Raven, usually, I would say a tricky unit to use.
And the Banshee coming back in, doing a few more kills inside the mineral lines.
Looks like the main mineral line probes are dying.
Again, and the army's far away, and like, I believe
the second Banshee is going to
kill
the other mineral line.
So workers were dying everywhere. I mean, Protoss has 2 bases, but he's losing so many workers. It doesn't matter. His income is not sufficient.
We see very good harassment here from Joker, being able to kill very many workers. How many workers there were killed
Banshee will fall, however, so...
How many workers died?
A lot. A lot.
I would believe so.
26 workers died.
26 in all. So that's huge damage here. And we see the second command center here floating.
And the second Banshee still killing workers. So a 27th one, moving, seeing the Dark Shrine, but...
Oh, but the Blink here is going to be able to...
No, we will not.
Get
but
the Banshee,
seeing the Dark Shrine made the right call by doing a Raven. There is not much on the attack side that Protoss can do right now. And he's always on the back foot because of that single Banshee.
And Joker here, always the merry player, looks like he wants to play mech against Protoss. Again. I don't see this often.
So Observer moving to see the turrets inside the main.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to know that's mech. He can't mistake it for anything else.
That's true that with 2 Stargates and 3 Factory, all with Tech Lab, it's pretty obvious. That said, he didn't scout the Raven, which means this worker might die from the turret. The Observer dies from the turret, so we will not see the Raven. He might expect there's a chance for DTs until he sees that, but there is no more.
And we see the harassment here from Joker, really non-stop going, killing probes one after the other, but the Blink and the Observer together are going to be able to finally take it out.
That said, they did the damage, and now Terran has 2 base too.
Yeah, but Junction has 8k gas in the bank. Like, what units would you select against this mech build, knowing your opponent has tanks?
Immortals, definitely right? Immortals.
And
that said, you could always go for air too, because, well, I know Taurus could deal a lot of damage, but we've seen mostly tank and aliens.
Yeah, that's true. Against mech, against the immobility of mech, it's really good when you go air to be able to exploit that immobility by attacking at a lot of different spots. Usually, Taurs are not sometimes enough to defend on all fronts.
That said, Zhongyun's going for Colossi, which is not going to be that great against Tang, but could still force some positioning. With Blink, you can also blink on top of the tanks, which can be good in some cases, I guess. But
only
we have
when you have the advantage, yes.
And we have +1 from the Terran side of things. I mean, DT's hiding to make sure there's no third base. The worker count's mostly back to even, I'm expecting by now. And with the upgrades going 2 for Protoss and 2 for Terran, it's still a very tight game. That said, the supply does favor Joker.
And it looks like Joker here on the macro side has the advantage. He's spending his resources here, and he's taking advantage with 107 supply to 80. Meanwhile, Junkyun still having 1K of gas. For Protoss, this is really very precious. But looks like he's not finding a way to spend it. Maybe a second Robo would help here, or a Stargate or something.
Well, the problem is he doesn't have the minerals to actually spend the gas behind, which is something that does not happen as often with Protoss. But he lost so many workers. That is the reason why. And when you can't support your gas as Protoss, I mean, it's going to even out very soon. But when you can't support it...
Oh, and it's like Joker here has upgraded the visual for his Taurs. So those very meching-looking Taurs looking like straight out of a movie.
Yeah, we can see Joker as the collector edition of the Wings of Liberty Crusade.
Oh,
because that's what it takes to have those Taurs.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it is.
All right, but so here we could talk about luck here from Joker, because he scans to see if there's a turret, and he managed to scan it right as it starts building. So he's probably tried to move out with his mech here.
And Joker's army is very
powerful.
Huge and very strong. It's going to kill that third base very, very fast.
Do you think Junkyun will attempt to defend it with his army? Would it be a mistake?
It would be a mistake. He needs to surrender it because he does not have Immortals. He has 2 Colossus, or one and one underway, I think.
But the vision here from Junkyun is leaking. Like, sometimes you would have an observer to know that the Terran is moving on the map.
But his army is at the third, so I'm assuming that he's going to engage, even though I believe it will be a slaughter.
Force fields could delay this army, but he has to know he can't afford to let the tanks move in. He can't afford to let the tanks
are here.
up.
They're going to siege up, and here's the army engaging.
And he's going to engage. Put a few force fields against the Hellbats here.
Trying to move away, but it's too late. He needs to cancel that building, but no, it's finishing.
He doesn't cancel it in time.
Gets destroyed. Zhongyun does retreat, but at this point, Joker will just move forward.
So I would think here, like the choice of going for the force field is a choice of not playing that often against mech, because once those force fields get down, there's no way to go and stop the tanks, because there's only the Colossi in range. That means that
Taurs will crush the force field by stepping over them.
Yeah. So as soon as the force fields were made, the base was given
up at the entrance. The army's moving in. We should have a Photon overcharge very soon.
You should see the micro here from the Colossi being able to kill all of those. So Joker here, I think, overstepped a bit.
Yes, but still, with his huge army, there's not much Protoss can do. The tank's making sure that the army is supported. The Taurus is killing everything.
He's trying to warp, but is it going to be enough?
I believe Terran's actually dealing the damage he was required to deal. I mean, the Vikings are falling. Actually, there was a snipe on the Raven, which made this one DT manage to kill everything else, forcing the tank to unsiege, and now like the army to actually run after the tanks and kill them.
Yeah, so Junkyun is still grabbing on in this game, making Immortals, but still having a bit of resources in the bank. But
that was a very nice defense. The tanks stopping to deal damage before they die, but everything falls for Joker.
And is the Joker going to push with that many mech units? Looks like he's going to choose, and no, he's going to try to stay, siege up, and defend his third base. I think that's a good decision here from Joker. He killed the third. He doesn't have to overextend right now.
Especially since Zhongyun went for, I was going to say so many DTs, but he's warping them, as I said, into Arkans.
But I like this here from Zhongyun, taking the turret right behind. Even if he has almost no defense, he's taking... He thinks that his opponent will try to defend his turret. He's anticipating here Joker's move, and he's going for the turret earlier than he should, just because he knows. And I think that's a very good move here. He just might come back.
But there are so many Tors, and Tors are very, very strong against most combinations that's ground and not immortals.
Yeah, we can see here the macro from Joker making a lot of Tors, really putting him in the lead in this game. That's the element that's separating him from his opponent.
We have still Colossi building for Zhongyun, which I believe somehow is a mistake. Although, however, he did manage to defend with Stalkers and Immortal the last push.
Yeah,
Stalkers and Colossi.
And Colossi. The Colossi have the advantage that they can that if you micro back, you can kill the Hellbats.
But there are many Vikings, and with the Tors, they get killed very fast. The Immortals would actually avoid the Vikings' damage and do a lot of damage to the Tors at the same time.
Yeah, but that's why Stalkers are making right now. Hopefully, Zhongyun, for him, he can take the angle needed to be able to kill a few Vikings before the Vikings can come in on the Colossi. That way, he will be able to kill all the Hellbats. But it looks like he chose to move in on the map. He can't move into this mech. This is madness.
He sees that he just wanted to see if the army was out of position, but it was not, which was a mistake because he lost an Archon. Should have sent the Observer first. That said, he's going Immortals again, so I'm thinking he was making only 2 Colossi to actually have a little map control in the battles.
Yeah, and
but
here Joker...
going back to Immortals straight away, building 2 at a time, seeing there are so many Tors, I will need the Immortals, which is the right call.
Oh, and it looks like an Hellbat is being sent to reach for that probe here on the left side who made a pylon, so that was not missed by Joker here.
That Stalker dying will warn Zhongyun of the huge threat that's on the way moving towards base. I don't think the army of Zhongyun is strong enough this time. It's 150 supply to 136. We have Stalkers moving in.
But he's going to have to take this very... Oh, but an Immortal here. The Immortal going straight from the robotics facility and being lost. That's a very important Immortal. He needed it against the tanks.
Another snipe on the Raven, however. Might be we have a few DTs who again tries to kill stuff.
There's going to be a few... Okay, so they had no bombs there, but the Protoss army is slowly falling here.
Yes, but the DDs are dealing the needed damage, killing all the tanks. Might have a scan soon when we notice everything's falling.
He did not notice that the DDs were doing that much damage.
He did, but he notices very late.
Very late indeed.
All the Tors again falling. Well, not all the Tors, but a lot of them.
And it looks like it's going to be very close here, the defense for that base. But did the Mothership Core get lost in that battle?
And now we have one Tor, one tank, no, 2 tanks, and 1 Viking against very not little. We have DTs moving out because the Raven's dead, but another scan could kill it.
Yeah, and
that said, like it's too late. The Tor dies, and the DTs will need
the 2 DTs did their damage before the scan was made, and that's good enough for Zhongyun to hold for now. Again, like, what do you want to do against mech? You want to exchange as often as possible. So that was kind of done by Zhongyun, but again, he lost more than he won in that game, in that battle, and Joker is slowly keeping the lead.
An edge. Joker makes 5 Tors at a time. That's actually the issue here. 5 Tors at a time.
That is a very big issue.
While Zhongyun's only making 2 Immortals at a time when he's making them. And he's building a 3rd robotic facility, but the production's not fast enough. And it's 3 base, now 4 for Terran as he's building his fort, versus 3 base. I mean, Zhongyun managed to pull out 2 Miracle Defense, so it's very good so far. Might be able to deal with another one, but if Terran keeps making base over bases, he's gonna have the income needed to keep supporting his Tor attacks over and over again.
Yeah, and it looks like, okay, so we have Zhongyun here poking at the 3rd base, seeing where the army is, what his army composition is, because he currently, well, he probably saw it with the pylon a bit, so he knows there's still Tors. So, so what is Junkion's army composed of at the moment.
However,
he's going to make Zealot legs.
Yes, I like what I'm seeing. We're seeing Zealot charge, which is very, very good against
yeah, I think Zealot Immortal is
actually a good composition against mech.
Yeah.
That said, there is against so many Tors, but there is no Raven this time. So a few DGs could actually deal some damage, but the army is too huge. He needs to cancel the base.
Oh, but he's gonna try to run and he's desperate. He wants to get this force base at all costs.
But the tanks are falling, but there's so many Tors. Nothing. Did we get a cancel or did it get slaughtered?
I believe it might have gotten cancelled, but there's still a mothership.
Stalker is building behind this, which I believe is not gonna deal any damage to this many Tors. That said, they're moving inside. Tors are falling because of the Immortal,
but no, he's Immortal without killing a Tor. This is going to be terrible. Like, Junkion is hanging in, trying to get the advantage here. Again, not again, but if he wins this, he manages to take the lead for second place in that group. But
the Tor sniped the base, so even if the defense actually succeeds...
Yeah, and there's still DDs here killing. Again, DD's not being heard. I don't know what's happened with a Joker's mic here, but he's not hearing the swipes. And the Tors are falling to DDs.
Well, there's so many stuff happening at the same time. It's pretty hard to catch it, especially his macroing. But even though he lost again all his army, this time he sniped the third, which is huge considering Terran's on 4 base.
The third. And Terran, yeah, exactly, on 4 base now. And the Colossi versus tank. The good old duel. Let's see if we're gonna see it. The tank sees the Colossi. The Colossi attacks it but goes away. He's gonna try not to lose too much health.
2 observer moving out.
And Junkion is gonna GG.
GG's.
So wow, that was a very close game. Actually, like it was a close game, but Joker did show his advantage on the macro side here, and it looks like already we have 5 minutes left. Sadly, we would like to show you the last game of this best of 3 because it's 1-1. But we're going to have to spoil it for you because we're going to have no games next week.
We don't really have to spoil it for you. You can spoil it for you yourself by going to actually check the scores if you're interested.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can always message us and we'll send you the replays.
Sure, we can always do that. And of course, if you want us to send you replays of your future opponents, do we have a policy for this? Or
we have a policy. Like, replays are available because we're casting them.
All right.
I mean, some people will not send them because they want to keep secret. But, I mean, it's a friendly tournament. It's for fun. And we just don't have time to cast them all. That's why we don't. Otherwise, we would. I mean, replays are made to be available. You can watch them live or later right on the side of the UGL tournament. So we'll see you next week. No, not next week.
I would like to say, well, it's not going to be next week. It's going to be next week. We're going to be on pause, so we should be able to give you 2 casts of 1 hour 2 weeks from now to be able to cast the decider games, because in 2 weeks all the decider games should have been played, and we should know the top 8 that is decided from that. But I would have liked to go around the current standings here in the groups because there were a lot of close games here. But looks like maybe we're not gonna have the site to display. But we're gonna have tomorrow a decider game for Group 1, which is gonna be between Damien and myself, to decide who goes on from Group 1. You are already qualified for Group 1. I believe from Group 2, Vincent Cotino-Soufflet actually managed to get enough wins to qualify. So do Joker and Conic, Jean-François Deschamps. So congratulations to those players. So it's gonna be very close to determine who gets second place in Group 2 and Group 4. So look forward to seeing who. It's probably gonna be decided on the games lost. But in Group 3, we have Jean-François Deschamps and Simon Gastin keeping the lead here in their group. So that's it. That's pretty much the state of affairs here in the tournament. So very close games.
So we'll see you in 2 weeks, not next week. Next week is off. I won't be there in 2 weeks. I'll be on vacation, so it's just going to be you and I believe Francis.
Disneyland.
Yeah, that's correct.
Kind of.
So me personally, I'll be seeing you probably in 3 weeks. And, well, we'll see you then. Have a good week.
Yeah, have a good week, and tune in 2 weeks from now.